Today we're going to make chicken quesadillas. It's a wonderful recipe, it's easy, it's very tasty. You can use it for an appetizer or a light meal, and you can make it. As with all the recipes, we're going to start off with a liberal portion of wine applied internally. I like to start cooking quesadillas by cutting up the materials that I'm going to use in the quesadilla and preparing them and having them all ready just to put it together. First ingredients, a green onion. Just take it and just chop it up. You like the dark green parts in this one, which is unusual. Normally you try to go with the whiter ones for a better flavor. But in this one, you want some chopped up dark green bits as well to try and give some color to the contents of your quesadilla. So just chop them up. Doesn't have to be too fine at all. And get that green onion just totally cut up into some pieces. And then just take that and set it on a plate ready for doing that portion. The next ingredient I'm going to cut up for our quesadilla is a little bit of hot red pepper. You can also use jalapenos, which will give you a same spicy flavor, but I like the hot red pepper because again it's a little bit different color for your quesadilla, and you can use a little bit of red pepper afterwards for garnish. So we're just going to cut up about half of this pepper. Now, a word of warning about hot peppers. If you leave the seeds in, they're very hot. If you take the seeds out, then it's a little less hot. So we're just going to knock the seeds out of the center of the slices we made of the hot peppers. It's really good to try and cut them quite thin if you can. And there we go. We got the seeds out. Now, I find that because the hot peppers have a lot of bite, if you chop them a little finer, you can spread the hot peppery taste out more through the quesadilla. So just give it a second chopping after you've cut it into rings. Now, if you like it really hot, you can use more pepper. If you like it not hot at all, you can just use red sweet pepper instead. The other thing you need for your quesadilla is cheese. Now, I've chosen to buy pre-grated cheese. This is just a Tex-Mex mix. It's a combination of cheddar, Monterey Jack, and mozzarella, and it just saves me having to grate a bunch up. You can also just buy some Monterey Jack and grate it yourself. But we'll just want to put about half a cup of grated cheese on your plate ready to go. The next ingredient I'm going to cut up for the quesadilla is the chicken. Now I've just chosen a chicken cutlet here because it's cheaper, but you can use any white meat of chicken. And you just want to cut it up into little slivers. I've got about half a pound here, which is going to be a bit too much, so I'll just cut it off about, I'd say a little about 2/3 of a pound or 1/3 of a pound from there, but a piece of chicken about that big should be just fine. And then you just want to cut it into little thin slices. It's also called juliennes, but because it's raw, it won't get really the matchstick shape that's normal for julienne. And we'll just cut it into some thin strips. The idea is to cut it first into thin strips, just like that. Now, I'm not going to put the chicken on the plate with the others because there's a risk of transmitting salmonella between ingredients. You never want anything else to touch utensils, cutting board, plates, or knives you used with the chicken. Okay, now we're ready to cook the chicken, which you want to do in advance for the quesadilla. Okay, so I wanted to use this grill instead of a frying pan to cook the chicken, so you can see what I'm doing. And all I did is I've thrown the chicken on a hot griddle, or a frying pan is what you'd normally use. And then you squeeze the half the lime over the chicken, and you sprinkle a half a teaspoon of chili powder over it. And then just stir it and keep it going until the chicken is cooked all the way through and coated with the lime and the chili powder. And the way you can tell if chicken's cooked all the way through, of course, is to just take your spatula and get the thickest piece and just push through it. And as you can see, that's still a little pink in the center, so we'll just let her go for a minute longer. So now we'll just cut through another thick piece. And the chicken has no pink inside it, and that's just what we're looking for. Now, of course, the chicken has now been cooked, so you don't have to worry about the salmonella anymore, because the idea of cooking until there's absolutely no pink left is to kill all the salmonella. So the chicken can just go on the plate with the rest of our ingredients. Now that you've got the contents made up for your quesadilla, you want to get a tortilla available. They come in flavors and whatever. This one has a cheese jalapeno flavor, or you can just use plain ones depending on your desire. You'll need 2 of them for your quesadillas. We're making snacks or a light meal for 2 people. So what you'll do is you take one of the quesadillas, one of the tortillas, and you just want to spread some margarine or butter on it, because that helps it brown up. So we'll just give it a little spread here. And just need to do one side. And then you're just going to throw that on the grill like that. Nice hot griddle. Now you notice I've changed to the griddle. You can use a frying pan or a grill to do these, but I like the grill marks. So I just put the griddle ones on because that gives it some black lines, which is pretty, but there's nothing wrong with a quesadilla done in a nice hot fry pan or on a grill either. So don't panic if you don't have a barbecue or a griddle to use. So we put both on there, and while it's going, we want to start. Now you only want to cover half the quesadilla. So we're going to put half the cheese on half the quesadilla. So we'll just put half the cheese on half the quesadilla. Just get it all spread out. And when you put all the cheese on it, then just put half the cheese on half of each of the quesadillas. Or the chicken, rather. So half the chicken that's going to go on each side. There we go. And it's a nice meaty quesadilla. I like that for make a nice luncheon. And then, of course, half the green pepper. On top of that, or green onion, excuse me. And then we'll spread our hot pepper half on half of each quesadilla. Now the reason you're doing it over half is we're going to fold these over. And you want to fold over half the quesadilla. And then you want to get the griddle nice and hot, and you just want to let her sit until the quesadilla's got some nice brown lines on it. Don't be afraid to peek and check. The quesadillas have been on the grill for a couple of minutes, and I take a little peek and I can see that they just got some nice golden brown spots on the other side, which is what you want. So just slide your spatula under the open end and flip it over. Slide your spatula under the open end and flip it over. You see those nice golden marks are what you want. If you're doing it on a fry pan, you want those to be little round circles or whatever it comes out as. You want that golden brown. And we'll let it sit and cook on the other side. So now you have your quesadilla all cooked and it's ready to serve, except you want to make everything look good before you serve it. So we're going to take the quesadilla and we're going to cut it into thirds with a nice sharp knife. That just makes it easier to eat. And you arrange it nicely on a plate with a bit of sour cream and a little bit of salsa to use as a sauce. And then you want to make it look even prettier. So I find if you just put a couple of slices of sliced red pepper on there and sprinkle a little bit of nice green onion over the top of it, it just gives it a bit of color and makes a nice plate. So there you have it. A nice, beautiful quesadilla. Beautiful for a luncheon or a snack, served with refreshing sour cream and red salsa. What could be better?